Hi everyone, my name is Jo Cruz. I've been working in the community for the last 25 years as a physiotherapist, and I thought I'd just have a little bit of a chat and see if I can give you some advice around set up at home, as we've all been working at home during this lockdown, or some of us have, and I thought there might be some things that I could help with. I've been finding people have been ringing in with sore necks, sore lower backs, arms, and a lot of it is because their setup at home has changed from work. They may not have an up and down desk, they may not have an adjustable chair. So let's have a look at the things that we can do to make it more comfortable for you. First off, I've just written some things down, so really simple. Look at the light. So if you can see, this room is quite light filled. So when you're looking at your screen, you shouldn't have light directly on your screen. If you do, when you're looking at your screen, you'll tend to squint a little bit. Now I'm getting light from behind me, so I would have to probably adjust that. Now at your setup at home, you may have to just adjust your computer screen. So instead of sitting this way, at different times of the day, you may want to adjust your screen so the light is not in the screen, because as soon as you get light in the screen, you tend to poke your neck forward, increasing the load both not at the neck but also at the shoulder, thoracic spine and lower back, so you'll get sore. The next thing I want you to look at, if you're working off a desktop, it's more easily able to do. You can adjust the screen height. But if you're working off a laptop, you need to be about your arm's length from the tip of the screen to where you're sitting. So about this size. If you're too close, again, you're popping your head forward like that. Again, if you're too far back or sitting back in the chair, you're too far and your back's going to get uncomfortable. So that's your chair. Your table, this is an ordinary table, is not likely to be adjustable. So you may have to make it comfortable on your thighs and get the right height, you may have to use a footstool. Now this is a footstool, but you could use a couple of books, anything, just to lift you a little bit and make it a little more comfortable. The thigh should be fully supported on your chair, so you are probably better to use a dining room chair. Now, it's quite good to use a lumbar roll. So I've got the Real McCoy here. So that has a strap and that will sit around the chair and it will support your lower back right in the waist, which makes it much more comfortable for your lower back. If you don't have that, you can always roll up a couple of towels and use a couple of elastic bands, and you could easily strap that to your chair or just use it in the hollow of the back. You're just going to need to replace it every time you stand up. Okay, so we've talked about the lighting, we've talked about your desk or table height and your chair and the height of your screen. Now we're looking at the laptop. So if you're using a laptop, I need to bring that a little bit closer. If I'm using a laptop, you really want to use a plug-in keyboard, because when you're working from this height, look at the height of your shoulders. That's going to get really uncomfortable. Your shoulder height should sit comfortably at 90 degrees so that this is relaxed. There is a large gap between the bottom of my earlobe and the top of my shoulder. So you want a separate keyboard, first off. Working off a laptop for long periods of time is only going to make you sore. The next thing you want to do is have a separate mouse. Using the little mouse on the keyboard screen really is not helpful. Again, you're using your shoulder at an elevated height, so it's higher than it should be, and you have to kind of lean in to use the mouse. Whereas when you've got a mouse at this height, you can relax, and then you're seated, and you can see the screen, much more comfortable position. Okay, now the thing about using a mouse for prolonged periods of time is if you're right hand dominant, you're going to grip that thing really hard, particularly, and you tend to lean in and you grip it hard. So you're actually better if you can for periods of time. Hello Jackie, that's my baby girl, that's my dog, come in to say hello. I'm sure you guys are dealing with all the challenges of kids and animals. Try and swap for some periods of time to the left hand, okay? I know it's slower, I know it's more frustrating, but try and swap from one dominant hand to the less dominant hand and you won't grip the mouse so strongly. I really recommend an upright mouse so that your hand is in a hand-shaped position. When you're holding the mouse like that, it turns the arm over, which turns the shoulder over, which can lead to shoulder pain and tightness all along the top of the arm and forearm. Whereas when your hand is in a hand-shaped position, like that, can you see the difference between that and that? It opens up the shoulder, it makes it much more comfortable on the neck and shoulder region. Okay, the next thing that I want to do, number 5, is take breaks. You need to take a break. You cannot sit for long. Most people will sit, they tell me, an hour, 2 hours, particularly when they're trying to work something out or they're concentrating on something. You need to take breaks. Every 5 minutes or so, just let your fingers rest at the keyboard. And then every 20 minutes or so, actually stand up. Standing up relieves the pressure off your lower back and your neck, and it automatically changes your posture and positioning. It allows you to relax your shoulders, and I'm going to show you some stretches that can be helpful. Take a sip of water, just stand and just move, because we're actually not designed to sit for long periods of time. We're actually designed to stand for about 5 hours a day. So when you've taken your break and your little pauses, just think about stretching the arms out, forearms out, okay? You can do some little neck stretches, so you're just going from side down to side. You can stretch the back of the shoulders out so that this arm is pushing that round and you're just really opening up that shoulder. While you are in a seated position as well, you can do those in sitting. You can actually do little neck retractions. So you're just popping that neck back, and that will help to relieve tightness at the back of the neck and thoracic spine. You can also hold it to the bottom of your seat, pull up, nice and firm, so you're actually closing the gap between your ear and shoulder, and then take your head to one side and stretch. Pull up again, and as you relax, take your head to one side, and that allows your neck muscles to relax. Okay, did you notice that I had my lumbar roll in position the whole time? If you are supporting that natural lordosis, or what we call your natural curve in your spine, you'll automatically improve the posture of your neck and thoracic spine, and you won't, the neck in the middle of the back, and you won't get sore. Okay, brilliant. So we've done lighting, we've done your desk and chair, we've done your seat depth, footstool, back, lumbar support. We've talked about your laptop, your keyboard, your mouse, your brakes, your stretchers. Now, standing. Very, very simple. Standing, like I said, relieves pressure. If you can and you have the ability to stand, it's quite nice, and there you can have short periods of time at your keyboard in this position, because standing again, it allows the shoulders to drop. Now you may want to do this on the kitchen bench. You may be able to grab a couple of books like I had to lift up my laptop. You could do that at your kitchen bench to create height and to create comfort in that position. Plus, standing gives your butt muscles a chance to relax. It gets your glutes firing, it gets your back muscles firing, it gets your tummy firing. The other position that can be really useful is to use a Swiss ball. So we could have periods of time, if you have something like this or an exercise ball, you could sit on the ball, because in the position of the ball you can sit on your sitting bones, your butt bones, which are bones down here, and that allows you to be in an upright posture, and it also means that you're using your tummy and your core muscles to keep you upright, which is a lot more comfortable, and it changes your position and posture in the long term. Well done. Okay, now, last thing I wanted to talk about, or a couple of things I want to talk about, is your workspace. So what I'm noticing is a lot of people have 2 screens. Now, that's absolutely fine, but our workspace should be in what we call a 45-degree angle. So most of those work tasks should be at that level, okay? And you want to have your screen at that level so you can do small turns, your mouse and anything else that you need. That can be really, really useful, okay? And the last thing I want to talk about is to relax and breathe. So that when you are seated, either on your Swiss ball or on your chair, you can breathe down into your belly. So you take a big breath into your nose and breathe out. As you breathe into your belly, it oxygenates your lungs. Wow, can't get that word right today. It brings oxygen down to the bases of your lungs and it helps your muscles relax. As well, if you can allow your muscles to relax, it stops them getting so tight. It stops up a big build-up of what we call lactic acid from waste product and muscles contracting all the time. So we're going to breathe into your belly and breathe out. And again. And breathe out. And that'll allow the shoulders to relax. It'll allow the shoulders to drop down. And I would try a couple of deep breaths every hour. We use a spiky ball, and you could use a tennis ball at home. But if you are getting a little sore, you can actually pop in the spiky ball just up and around. Look, I'm just going to lean onto that shoulder there. But you can actually rest on there and allow those muscles to let go. And you can do that all the way down, any muscles that are tight on the back or the thoracic spine. The last thing to think about is actually realise that you may not be able to get as much done at home as you can at work. You may have kids that you've got to homeschool. You may have extra family members. You may have a poor internet connection. You may have dogs barking and things going on, lots more noise than maybe what you're used to in your own work environment. But relax, every one of us is in the same boat. And if you hear again and again on the radio saying, let's be grateful, the reason that they actually say that is if you can be grateful for maybe 1, 2, 3 things, you cannot hold gratefulness and anger in your mind at the same time, or gratefulness and sadness. Gratefulness wins out every single time. So give yourself a pep talk. Say, okay, I'm grateful that I'm able to work. I've got a warm house. I've got a lovely family. I've got what I need at this time. And be grateful for the amount of work that you can do in your own home office space. Hey, it's been a real pleasure to be able to share this with you. If you have any questions, please feel free. If I can support you in any way, I'm really happy to do that. Just ring me, okay? I'll write this, I'll get easier to put it on here, 0452777872, or email us on physio1@extra.co.nz. Kia kaha, New Zealand. Stay strong. Thank you.